Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got 'em for a rep. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again. It is MRN's Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength and by Grunt Style. Talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post, and well, in my case, my favorite week of the year. I don't know about what Erin's got going on over there, but it's World Finals week for some of us.
Yeah, well, I got a trip to Jamaica. I mean,
so Jamaica, World Finals, under most situations, society would say you won. You didn't even come close to winning this one.
I'm not sure
didn't even come close to winning this one because we're getting sprint car racing, and for me, I'm sleeping in my own bed. Man, that is a great combination. I love it. I love it. So it is World Finals weeks, and it's going to be great along the way here. A couple of special programs coming up. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the 31st. It's the Keith Coons Give Back Classic pre-race show. Yeah, Keith Coons is giving away a ride for the Chili Bowl and up at Millbridge Speedway. So we're teaming up with Rip the Fence and Tyler Burnett from Rip the Fence and yours truly. We're going to do a pre-race show, 4 o'clock Eastern time. So if you're there at Millbridge, join us live. If you're not, twist us in on mrn.com, wingnation.com, Rip the Fence. We got it all covered. And then on Friday at 2 o'clock, in the afternoon Eastern time, it is Camper Appreciation Day. For everyone going to the World Finals, it's at the Pavilion by ZMAX Dragway, and we're going to be doing a live show there. We got a great list of drivers there. Ashley Strummy and I are going to do that. You kidding me? I mean, it is phenomenal. Oh, it's World Finals week. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to wear you out. Don't even turn on your Twitter machine. You're going to get wore out this week.
I'll send some, crystal clear water pics to make myself feel a little bit better.
Make yourself feel a little bit better. Won't even chink my armor of happiness. Hey, breaking news this morning. Now, I mean, this has certainly been speculated, and I had a few people whisper this one to me, but it's official. Carson Macedo to Kyle Larson Racing. What an opportunity.
Absolutely. I love the press release. It talked about how Kyle always wanted to give back to the younger kids, give them those opportunities. And, he's giving back to the younger kids. How old is Kyle?
Yeah, exactly.
All of 25, 6.
Yeah.
No, I think it's great.
It's phenomenal.
That's a strong pair.
Yes, it is. So congratulations to Carson Macedo on that opportunity. Great stuff. So, hey, let's take a look at our Classic Ink Screen Printing and Embroidery Hot Topics. And when we look at the Hot Topics, well, the Tuscarora 50 finally happened. Ay. Rained out in September. Friday night's prelim got rained out. Saturday got rained out. But finally, an afternoon show. And first and foremost, and yeah, I understand it was a long race, lots of red flags, lots of wadded up race cars. But boy, I'm telling you, if there's a track that can handle an afternoon show, it's Port Royal.
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, when you have the second place finisher came from 23rd, and
the top 5 finishers. The winner started 5th, second started 16th, third started 23rd. Brad started 7th, second went back to 4th, and 5th place started 17th.
Yeah, there was a lot of passing.
So great stuff along the way. And when it was all done, it was Donny Schatz getting the win. Imagine that. But interesting, and maybe we're going to talk to Donny in just a little bit. What's fascinating to me is this may be his one and only shot at a Tuscarora 50.
Yeah.
Because it's never when the World of Outlaws, they're always on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And because of the rainouts, we may go down the list of great racers to win the Tuscarora 50, and what a list it is in 51 years. And this may be the one and only time you'll see Donny Schatz, which is almost great because you have a great race like this, and if Donny Schatz's name's not on the list, you're like, well, is it really that great? It is. But to add him, so I think that's phenomenal. I think I mentioned keep an eye on the 51 car, Freddie Raymer.
Yeah.
16th to 2nd. We are watching a budding rock star here. whether it stays in Pennsylvania with Fred or whether someone picks him up and takes him and goes somewhere. And the challenge is Freddie's got a really, really, really good real job, and good jobs pay better than sprint car jobs. So it's going to be fascinating to see what happens when he slides down in between into that race car, though. I'm telling you, that young man has become the real deal.
And if that race was a bit longer, he was gaining a little on shots at the end.
And to be a young driver and manage a 50-lap race is impressive.
Oh, yeah.
It really, truly is. And Darren Pittman, we've talked about the KKR strength, 23rd to 3rd, hard charger. I mean, phenomenal stuff. Mm-hmm. Great stuff. How about the speed? Brian Brown, 120.581 miles per hour. Oh, it's all in the mail. He had that old Charlie Garrett engine just singing around the Speed Palace. So there you have it. Classic ink screen printing embroidery, hot topics, and great for T-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, towels, hats, and a whole lot more. Joining us on the program, a pair of 15s, Donny Schatz, and Sam Hefertepe Jr., a pair of J&J chassis drivers, too. Because Sam, speaking of hot topics, Sam wrapped up the ASCS National Tour Championship in fine fashion in Sapulpa, Oklahoma, by scoring the win in the season finale. So we'll talk to Donny Schatz next.
For over 50 years, drivers in sprint car, midget, micro, modified, and even dirt late model have taken the checkered flag on Weld Racing Wheels. Legendary drivers like Joe Saldana, Carl, Mark, and Steve Kinzer, Doug Wolfgang, and countless other racers have trusted Weld Racing Wheels for their superior strength and lightweight construction to finish ahead of the competition. With 50 years of race-winning engineering and technology, American-made Weld Racing Wheels are designed and built to withstand virtually any abuse you throw at them. Weld Racing. Proven speed.
Sage Fruit is a high-quality grower, packer, and shipper of Washington State apples, pears, and cherries. Sage Fruit believes in sprint car racing. Sage Fruit has been a proud sponsor of sprint cars for the last 15 years and a proud partner of Wing Nation for the last 3 years. We love sprint car racing, and we are there for our sprint car fans. Sage Fruit works hard to deliver an exceptional eating experience. We value our relationship with sprint car fans and appreciate your continued support of Sage Fruit. Ask for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
O'Reilly. Save on your next oil change with 5 quarts of Valvoline Max Life Motor Oil and a MicroGuard filter on sale now for the same price of Valvoline Conventional at $26.99. Extend the life of your vehicle and improve engine performance with Valvoline at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Terry McCarl. One has a World of Outlaws win and has made the A-Main at the Knoxville Nationals. The other was the first one in line at the breakfast buffet once, or many times. Wing Nation with Steve Post and Erin Evernham.
T-Mac bringing us back here. It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires on the Motor Racing Network. So glad you joined us. And let's go right to it. The Weld Racing Hotline, fresh off a trip to Victory Lane. Sunday afternoon up at the Speed Palace, Port Royal Speedway in the Tuscarora 50. Donny Schatz joins us. Hello, Donny. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Congratulations. Tell us about that win on Sunday afternoon, Donny.
Well, I think we all thought Mother Nature was going to be the huge winner at Port Royal last weekend, but she wasn't. So, obviously, the first 2 days and the race getting postponed and moved back. Sunday, when I arrived, I was like, man, this is going to be a mess. But it was incredible what they did. Being able to get the rigs in there and the pit area so you could move around. And the racetrack was actually the easiest thing to get ready, it looked like. And, track record and qualifying. And from there on, it's Port Royal, man. It's the racy place. The racing surface slowed down a little bit as the night went on and made for a great race. Guys coming from the back, we started fifth. So, there was some moving around on the racetrack and lots of things happening.
Donny, talk about the length of the race. I think you said in Victory Lane it felt like a 500-miler. Knoxville 50 laps seemed to go by a lot quicker than that did. And talk about how important it is to conserving the tire where you're not able to change it on the brake.
Well, you're right. It felt like the Tuscarora 500, and it's guys were causing yellows, just stopping continuously, and it takes 2 or 3 laps each time you have it, and I don't know what reasoning is, but that's just the nature of the beast at the moment. But I think in all of our minds, the tire conservation was going to be the biggest thing. But in reality, it was fuel, Aaron. The air was so cool. You know, it was almost at sea level, which means the motors are pumping a lot of fuel, and the surface was fast. And you did get a little wheel spin down the straightaway. So I know that there was a couple cars out on lap 21 on fuel, and that's when they had the red flag, which was going to make us do a 29-lap race, and we couldn't get through 21 without running out of fuel. So, you know, it had to, obviously was a concern to me, but we went into fuel conserve mode, and it was actually better for us. So nobody run out at that point, I don't think, and made for a fun race, really.
Okay, I didn't feel bad about my inquisitive look, but when Erin looked at me and gave me an inquisitive look, fuel conserve mode. What do you do to conserve fuel with one of those fire-breathing 410 sprint cars?
You really think I'm going to tell you that?
Well, that's a very good point. Yeah, exactly.
You know, people don't understand in sprint cars that the yellows are what the motors take as much fuel almost on the yellow as they do when you're racing. There's two things that cause a lot of fuel consumption: a lot of wheel spin and heavy racetracks. And we had both of those scenarios at Port Royal. You know, it was heavy in the corners, and it got somewhat slick down the straightaways where the wheel spin would get real bad. So if someone just runs around there wide open and don't lift and has wheel spin, they basically do twice as much mileage as anybody else, you know, and pumping a lot of fuel. So and on the yellows, do they lean them down? Don't they lean them down? You know, it's everybody does something different. But I know that that last half of that race, when we stopped and had 29 laps, I was fully concerned. I really thought, man, I'm going to have to go into fuel conserve mode, and you know, that it just means running the pedal differently and not using as much fuel when you think you need it. So basically, I tried to not push as hard as I needed to and waited for someone to push me, and that didn't happen.
That's incredible. Goodness. Donny, you also mentioned that you ran the 2019 rules package. You have been since, I think, Lakeside, and you finished no worse than second place. Talk about that car. Is it something that you were working on long before the rules package changed? Or, I mean, how has it come out of the box so strong?
No, it's kind of a sore subject with me because since 2000, I've run a safety cage on the left side of my car to keep people from coming up in that side of the car when things happen. And when we first did that, you know, it changed the way we had to run bars and shocks and all these things. It changes the dynamic of the car in the balance dramatically. And when they changed the rule, I was like, well, I've been doing this since 2000, running a safety cage. Now you're telling me I got to move it and I got to change all these things. It almost seems like, you know, maybe the guys that don't have them should have to run them. I don't know, make a rule for that, but they changed all these things, and I was concerned. Yeah, it's going to affect what it is we do, and it puts Jack Elam and all, you know, everything that goes out his door. He has to change and adapt to the new package. So we figured, you know, in the position we were in with the championship, we're going to have to start running that one of those cars. So Jack built us a car quick. We put it together, and from the first time it hit the racetrack, the balance is just phenomenal. So having it on both sides seemed to actually help our car, and I think it's just a byproduct from having it on there for all them years. So the cars that have that people depend on a lot of flex for things to happen, they're gonna have some adapting to do. They're gonna have a lot of adapting to do. And the people that have rigid cars and rely on their shocks and spring packages to you know, make their adjustments, they're probably gonna have a little easier time. So makes me feel good that our program is where we would like it, and we're finishing the year strong that way.
Boy, I will say. Donny, final question for you here. When we've talked so much about your program, it's you work to keep the same crew chief, the same engine, the same this, the same that. When we have moments like that, what's the comfort? It's got to be even though it's concerning, it's got to be a little bit more comfortable to know that you and Jack Elam have been through a lot of things over the course of time, and Jack and Bonnie, and that if you're going to put that change in someone's hands working with you guys, there's got to be a comfort level that if anyone can figure it out quickly, they can, or you guys can.
Well, it comes to the guys that work on the cars, and you know, I've got great guys working on the cars. I've relied on Jack since 2000 when Kenny Woodruff introduced me to him, and we used his stuff. And you know, I've told people many times when somebody forces me to change race cars, that's probably going to be the day that you see me, you know, step away or do something different. You know, I like them. They truly hold a near and dear spot in my heart, and I know he works his heart out to make sure that I'm in the safest thing there is. And you know, those guys see things that happen. They watch what happens and always try to make educated guesses on, you know, for safety things here and there. None of us are engineers by any means, but do a phenomenal job. You know, they catch a bad rap. People tell them it's a small window race car, and that's all a figment of a person's imagination. Basically what they're saying is they don't want to work on things hard enough to make them good for themselves. So we just do our own little thing, and you don't worry about what's said here and there. And we just appreciate it as hard as he and all his guys at his shop do. And I appreciate the guys that work at TSR for what they do and try to keep on top of things. So just look forward to the future.
I can imagine. That is for sure. Donny, always a pleasure. We look forward to talking with you this weekend in Charlotte. And I know you're going to spend a little time in studio over the weekend doing Wing Nation on MAV TV. But congratulations on the Tusky 50 win, and we'll see you this weekend.
All right, guys. Thank you.
There we go. Donny Schatz. You get off the phone with them, and you have this, like, fuel-saving mode. Huh? What is he talking about? And yet you find out, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know, what he's saying really makes a lot of sense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely makes a lot of sense. But to
say it
do
and do it. Two different
to be
things.
leading the Tuscarora 50 and be like, yeah, I'll just wait to see if, you know, someone catches me, and then I'll
just go in fuel-saving mode. Yeah, exactly. And then,
I get the caution, I get that.
Yeah, exactly. Then to roll out the 2019 car and just, and by God, it's better. Oh my God. We're watching something here that's phenomenal, and I know there's a lot of people that are sick of this guy winning. We're all going to sit around in 25 years, unless he's still winning then, or in 40 years, and say, you should have seen this Schatz guy. Yep. This guy was a machine, and I'll tell you what an amazing stuff. Hey, speaking of a guy that knows his way to victory lane, and speaking of a guy that's had a lot of success as well in those J&J cars, by the way, Sam Hefertepe Jr., he joins us next.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa is proud to announce their feature exhibit for 2018, the Salute to Champion Brian Clausen. Open May 1st through October 1st. See the race cars Brian Clausen drove during his illustrious racing career and the trophies, uniforms, and memorabilia Brian amassed while driving sprint cars, midgets, Indy cars, and NASCAR. The Salute to Champion Brian Clausen exhibit, only at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, located in Turn 2 at Knoxville Raceway.
The American Sprint Car Series is back for its 27th year. Whether you're catching the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour at tracks like Williams Grove, Skagit Speedway, Knoxville Raceway, Lucas Oil Speedway, or any of the 6 regional tours across the United States, you'll find the ASCS Nation racing at a track near you. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram today. Then see the full schedule, track-by-track history, updates, and more at ASCSRacing.com.
Aggressive Hydraulics, where we engineer the cylinders that move your business. We specialize in designing and manufacturing purpose-built, application-specific hydraulic cylinders with superior precision and performance, making OEM products stronger, crafting cylinders that operate on a global basis in a wide variety of industries and applications. Get aggressive with your cylinder challenges. AggressiveHydraulics.com.
This is Brian Brown. She's married to one of the greatest crew chiefs of all times and my hero, and he likes beer and chicken wings. It's Steve Post and Erin Evernham on Wing Nation.
Thank you, Brownie. Welcome back. It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. Let's go right back to it. The World Racing Hotline. We've been busy today. Another J&J chassis, another number 15 car, and another champion for championship for Sam Hefertepe Jr. who joins us. Hello, Sam. Welcome back to the show.
It's always good to be on. I'm glad that you guys asked me to be on again.
Well, we appreciate you coming on and joining us. Congratulations on the successful season and ending it with an exclamation point as far as ASCS Racing with the win. Tell us about that win and ending the season strong and being able to do that this weekend.
Well, going into a place like Creek County, it's always a toss-up. Sometimes the tracks get pretty locked down and heavy, and sometimes you get it really slick. So you never know what you're going to come into, and it's such a short track. Anything can happen, and we've been really good there the last 2 or 3 years. Probably a track that I struggled with a lot earlier in my career, and the last 2 or 3 years we really figured it out and done really well. And and we got the win over my best friend Sean McClellan. So it was a really long, hard-fought battle to get the lead, but we really wanted to win that race to really kind of go out on top and not just win the championship by just showing up. I wanted to do it the right way, and I felt like we got that done.
Sam, 3 championships in a row, the ASCS, incredible feat. Talk about how each year is different and what, you said winning on the last night kind of made this one special, but does one stand out?
It's been different every year just because, the last 2 years, we had a different owner, but, we might not have had the equipment that we had this year. This year we had no excuses. We had, all the best stuff. We weren't really sparing on equipment, and it actually kind of made it a little more difficult because, when it's all there in place for you, if you're not doing your job, it makes it difficult and makes you wonder why you're not getting it done. And we just kind of got to about middle of the year, and we finally figured out some stuff that we've been missing, and right after that, it started clipping along really well, and it seemed like every night we had the car to beat, and it just played out in our favor at the end of it. But I'm happy for Miles and Pam to get this done for them, and obviously the last 2 years before that, I was really proud of those as well. We really dominated last year. This year, I felt like we dominated the last half of the year, but, didn't do that much on the beginning of the year. So to start off where we were and to finish where we were, I'm really proud of that.
As you should be. That is for sure. Hey, I want to go back to Saturday night. Where did you and how did this friendship with John come into play? I mean, it's phenomenal to get a chance to race with your best friend. How did that come about? Was it Sean? Sean, yeah. How did this come about? Your friendship and how different is it racing with Sean?
We actually developed friendship long ago, about 2004, 2005. We run like regional ASCS stuff a long time ago, and he was the guy to beat back then. He won the Sooner Region Championship, and went out on the national tour, won some races out there, and around the Oklahoma parts, he was definitely the guy to beat, and we just raced enough together and developed a pretty good friendship, and then just over the years, it's no matter if I've been racing 410s or back racing with him, we've always held a really strong friendship, and then the last few years we've been able to race with each other a lot more, and it's just been really cool to kind of go back to how it was in the old days, and when we used to race side to side, and got to do it again on Saturday night. It was pretty special.
That's cool. Sam, I saw a picture of you guys celebrating the championship at Ruth Chris Steakhouse. Talk about what it's like to have the championship done, season over, the relief, the pressure, everything, and how big was the celebration?
Oh, it was definitely a pretty big celebration. I think Saturday night was the real celebration, but the dinner was definitely special there Friday night, with people that, really mean a lot to our race team, Miles and Pam and, Alex and Miles' mother and just, Ryan and Ashley Highgrader, they've been a part of our deal for a long, long time, and all of my guys were there, and my parents as well. So definitely special to have those people around us, on a special weekend.
For sure. Final question before we let you go, Sam. Are you done this year, or what else is on the docket for this year?
No, we're not done.
I knew that.
I'm actually driving the rig to Charlotte right now. We're going to try to get here to the World Finals, and we've been running some 410 stuff the last few weeks. We really need to start focusing on that kind of stuff, because next year we are going to try to tackle a lot more 410 races, and we're pretty much we've been off in the 410 program, so and as we probably should be. We've been focusing on the 360s, and that's been primarily our concern. So we've been trying to run a few 410 races here and there, and trying to get geared up for next year, and because we're obviously going to race quite a few more of them next year. So we're going to the World Finals and see what we can do. We had a little bit of success there last year, and hopefully after the little bit of time we ran the last few weeks, we can put a good weekend together and come out of there with some respectable finishes.
Let's hope that's the case, and look forward to seeing you racing here in Charlotte. Sam, congratulations on the championship. We'll see you this weekend.
All right, sounds great, guys. I appreciate it.
There we go. Sam Hefertepe Jr. Man, I love that guy. What a great racer he is. Gosh,
and a true racer.
Cool. True racer, no doubt about it, and he's coming to Charlotte, too. Love that.
Love that. See another
exactly.
one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, let's step away. We've got more Wing Nation in just a moment.
Looking for custom racewear and embroidery? Do you want your race fans to represent your race team with trendy, original apparel? Contact Classic Ink USA, the new standard in custom screen printing and embroidery, located in Greater Pittsburgh. Classic Ink USA's professional staff utilizes state-of-the-art facilities to transform your ideas into an attractive wearable piece. From custom track swag racewear to trendy quick crew wear, Classic Ink handles it all. Find out how you can get started. Contact Classic Ink USA screen printing and embroidery at the track and on your back.
O'Reilly.
Eventually it's going to happen. You'll turn the key and your engine won't start. Don't lose your ability to get around. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts for a Super Start battery. Whether it's a reliable economy, hard-working premium, or powerful extreme, you'll find it at an everyday low price. Don't let a dead battery slow you down. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
This is Shane Stewart, and you're watching MRN's Wing Nation on MRN.com.
It is great to be joining you here. It is Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. We got a little bit of business to tend to, but I want to mention this. Sherry Hodnett and the Hefner crew, they're headed to Charlotte, and there will be Greg Hodnett tribute T-shirts, hats, and decals available. They're trying to set up right between the grandstand and turn one, right by the pit area, right next to it. That's where they're trying to set up. But they will be there. So I know there's a bunch of us, myself included, that wanted to make sure we get some Hodnett tribute gear. They're coming to Charlotte, so they will be doing that, and will be great to support Sherry in that. So if you're coming to Charlotte, make sure you set aside a few bucks to buy the Greg Hodnett tribute gear. National Sprint Car Hall of Fame birthday calendar. Tomorrow, Tom Bigelow, Lee Brewer Jr., Dave Carday. Thursday, Calvin Landis. Saturday, Danny Young. And on Sunday would have been the birthday of Kenny Weld, member of the Minnesota. I think about the Minnesota Mafia. That's our friends. The Kansas City Mafia. There we go. 1997 inductee into the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, born into a midget racing family, 4-time winner of the Knoxville Nationals. They dominated the Midwest. He moved east in the early 70s and dominated. And in 1975, he jumped out of a sprint car and into modified racing with team owner Bob Weichert. Nice to see. My first recollection of Kenny Weld was in 1980 when everyone went with a Super Dirt Car Series to Syracuse, and Gary Ballou showed up in that Batmobile, that Lincoln Continental, and waxed everybody by about 2 seconds a lap. A great innovator, great race car driver, and Hall of Famer, and died in 1997. Kenny Weld, part of the reason that we love the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa. We've got a huge week coming up online and a huge week with activities. We talked about the shows that we're going to be doing live, okay? Tomorrow, Wednesday, Wing Nation, driver to driver. You sit down with Shane Stewart.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, good stuff. So there we go. Thursday, Wing Nation Weekend, presented by Hefner Racing Products. Dave Blaney joins us. Saturday, Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit on MAV TV. The Big Cat, Brad Sweet, is in the house. Tomorrow afternoon, Wednesday, if you're listening to this on Tuesday, Keith Kuhn's Give Back Classic pre-race show presented by Rip Defense and Wing Nation up at Millbridge Speedway. And on Friday at 2:00 Eastern Time, Wing Nation at the World Finals, Dryden going to be presenting that show. It's at the Pavilion at ZMAX Dragway, part of the customer appreciation event. So we are going to be
Big
slammed.
deals, yes.
Oh, my gosh. It's great. And the banquet is Sunday night. We're going to do some Facebook Live from that, too. So, hey, appreciate the drivers of the 15 cars, Donny Schatz and Sam Hefertepe Jr. for joining us here today.
Wing Nation has been brought to you by Hercules Tires and by Grunt Style. Wing Nation can be found on demand at mrn.com, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Wing Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.